Daydreamers.
Hey, this is Don the Menace with Chemical X and Daydreamers Productions. Today we're going to talk about Batman v Superman. Was it good? Was it bad? He thinks it was good. I think it was bad. We're going to let you decide, though. Y'all niggas was worried about Deadpool. I'm Don the Menace. I'm here with fellow Black Geekazoid.
Internet space. At the Spaceman.
Yeah, I didn't do my Twitter. At Don's GFX. You already know that, though. So what we gonna do is get into this Black Geekazoid battle. I thought Batman v Superman was whack. You thought it was a masterpiece. So Did you want to start your opening statements first?
Nah, man, you do whatever you want to do.
Okay, I'm gonna refer to my notes just like last time. If you didn't see our last battle, check it out. It was DC versus Marvel. I think I won it.
You lost though.
So don't think I'm a DC hater. Okay, don't think that, cause I'm not, and I'm not a Marvel fanboy.
I know you're not, so I'll stick up for you on that one.
Yeah, so I just wish they did a better job with Batman v Superman. I was more excited for the Flash Supergirl crossover than I was for after I saw Batman v Superman. After I saw that, I was like, give me the Flash Supergirl crossover. That was more well done. Greg Berlanti should have gotten all the special effects budgets that Zack Snyder had, because he did a better job crossing over the Flash and Supergirl than Zack Snyder could ever do with Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman.
That happened already?
Yeah.
So it was on a Supergirl show?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The universes are connected, brother.
But that didn't happen on the Flash's show?
I don't think so, no. It's just Supergirl.
Yeah, because I don't watch
They're doing the two Earths thing, but anyway.
Okay, I don't watch
alternate
Supergirl.
Earths. But what you got to say about your masterpiece? Because I got some facts I got to share with you. After.
I mean, it has its problems. Movies have problems. The fact that people are split, to me, shows that this is the thing. People wanted a great event movie because it was a big event. Zack Snyder's direction made it more of a cinematic focused machine than a big time.
It's a pretty bitch.
Fun event.
It's a pretty bitch. I give you that.
But at the end of the day, the fact that people are split shows that chances were taken. And at the end of the day, for me, that's what I want out of my superhero films. I don't want this overly formulaic stuff that, like, you leave the movie feeling good and then a couple years later you never even watch it again. You never even go back to it.
What are you talking about when you say that kind of stuff?
Listen,
should I say Marvel or something? Is that what that is?
Nah, it's like I said.
And name an example of a movie like that, because I can't think of one.
Well, no, I'm done saying Marvel.
Okay.
Because I don't want to sound like I hate Marvel, because I don't.
Right. I know you don't.
So, like I said, now moving on to just saying Disney. Disney has a formula to make movies. That's true. They know how to make you walk out of a theater and be like, oh, what I saw was good. So
you don't think you should feel good coming out of a movie?
That's the thing. Like, just making people walk out of a theater being like, oh, that was good, is not as...
Listen, you just said your movie has problems. You just said Disney knows how to make movies.
Right, Disney
and you are claiming that this movie is good.
Disney knows how to make movies where you don't think about the problems all that much, because
they're minuscule, whereas in yours, they were exploded. They were amplified.
Batman versus Superman's problems were not amplified. People have amplified them. They weren't.
I disagree.
I would argue that, like, when I went to see Avengers 2, Age of Ultron, it was like, I felt that when the Vision was introduced, I felt like that was clumsy. There's people who think when the rest of Justice League is introduced was clumsy, because for all the people who think Marvel doesn't have chinks in their armor, I feel like Age of Ultron was an example of the fact that they are trying to set up stuff. They're trying to set up big things. They do have a lot of different people who want a lot of different things. They gave Josh Whedon a lot to deal with, and that movie was kind of all over the place. It can happen to anybody, but the thing is, because they give you that good
Which one is the better movie, though? Which one is the better movie overall?
Batman vs Superman.
You are tripping right now. You are tripping. Are you serious?
It is, bro.
It is not.
It is.
Let me tell you something about Batman v Superman. Batman v Superman. What's that movie called again?
No,
Batman v Superman.
Dawn of Justice.
Okay, Batman doesn't meet Superman until an hour and 30 minutes almost into the movie.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
Okay, and even at that point,
This is what I'm talking about right here.
Superman goes, the bat is dead. A totally uncharacteristic thing for Superman to say, and then he flies the hell off.
To me, that's the only problem.
And then, listen, when they fight again, it's 10 minutes long. It's a 10-minute long fight. And then here comes Wonder Woman to save the day.
This is the thing, man. So this is my whole argument about, listen, I thought the movie was good. It has its problems. The main problem...
I can't believe you're admitting it has problems. Because you think it's a masterpiece?
Because the thing is, listen, it has problems. It does have problems.
Because everything has problems.
Everything has problems. Yeah. But you know what? The reason why the problems in Batman versus Superman are being so overblown and people are so upset about it is because, yes, we never saw Batman fight Superman before. We never even saw them on the same screen, on the silver screen before. So it's a big event, and everybody has in their mind how they want that shit to go down for the first time. So you have a better chance of letting people down than you do actually pulling it off at the end of the day. And if they went the safe route, they could have pulled it off and everybody would have been happy. But at the end of the day, it would have been a by-beat movie, the type of stuff that like Deadpool, when they make fun of it. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of the stuff that you make fun of about what has become kind of like the blueprint of superhero movies that Deadpool pokes fun at, and some parts of the internet poke fun at, and people say that they don't like when you start discussing superhero fatigue, are the things that you don't really find in this movie. But if you threw all that bullshit in there, people would have walked away like, oh, it was the best thing ever, and then a couple months later, you forget about it.
But you know what? The thing, I want you to name an example of a good movie, superhero movie, where a couple years later, you forget about it.
Like,
name an example.
All right, so from my point of view, the only Marvel movie I have ever rewatched is The Avengers, the first one. All the rest of them, I don't even. Oh yeah, hold on, I'm lying.
America, Winter Soldier.
Iron Man. I haven't revisited Captain America: Winter Soldier. It's not because I wouldn't want to though, because that's actually my favorite Marvel movie, and it's the most grounded Marvel movie.
Okay, I understand that. Well, back to what you were saying about superheroes being poked fun at by Deadpool. I thought of that Deadpool scene where he goes superhero landing, and then she. The first time you fucking see Superman in that movie,
it's a superhero landing.
Yeah, it was so corny. Oh my!
But superhero landings come from Superman. The superhero landing is the Superman landing. So what are they gonna do? Not do the Superman landing?
They could have did. I don't know. It was just. I don't know.
Listen,
I don't know what they could have did, man.
It was good. This is the problem. Zack Snyder, cinematically, it's a good movie. It is, honestly. But the thing is, like, it doesn't fit the genre that was produced. So, like, people came in wanting to see an event movie, and event movies have a certain. Even if you take Disney out the equation, like the new Jurassic Park movie, it fit the event movie formula. You know what I mean? The event movie formula does not exist in this DC universe, and people want that. And you know what? I'm done even being mad about it. Because at this point,
you're saying you would rather the movies be horrible in pacing, horrible with introducing characters, horrible with the action scenes, horrible with the plot points, horrible with the story, horrible with the script, just so it's different. Just so it's different than what's coming out.
That was horrible, though.
But you agree it has problems. Let me tell you something. According to Forbes, that amazing box office record that Batman v Superman had, where it grossed more than any superhero movie of all time at one point, it's dropped 81% this week. First week, wow, Batman v Superman.
Right.
Second week, superhero landing.
I mean, I'm not surprised when, you have so many critics panning the movie. But if you want to go to the Rotten Tomatoes bullshit, at the end of the day, 71% of the people who actually went to see it, who aren't in the industry to criticize a film, liked it. You know what I mean? So on word of mouth alone of the average person, the movie would do well. But when you have so many people who are influenced by what they see in Forbes magazine or New York Times and stuff like that, you're going to have a movie that kind of crashes and burns in that second week. Man, I'm okay with it at the end of the day. If people want to be sheep, if we all want to see the same movie, because I don't care what anybody says, half these Marvel, not even half, all these Disney movies, including what I saw when I saw Star Wars, what I saw when I saw of Age of Ultron 2, that garbage that was Iron Man 3, that garbage that was Thor 2, Jurassic Park, they were all the same goddamn movie. They were all the same movie. So at the end of the day, if everybody wants the same movie, I'm fine with that. So in 2017, or in 2018 and 19, I'll go watch these DC movies, and I'll treat myself to the same goddamn movie that I'm going to see if I go to Marvel, whatever. Fuck it. That's what we want. Then fuck it.
Listen, what you're calling the same movie is what I'm calling a good movie. Okay, the movie that you are describing as being boring, as being the same, as being formulaic, is formulaic for a reason, because it's a formula that works. But that is good.
Formulas don't create classics. You know, Star Wars is not what people didn't fall in love with Star Wars because it fit a formula.
But you know,
Jaws didn't create summer blockbusters by following the formula.
I understand that, but I'm saying in these new times, people don't want that. People want what people want. They want to feel what they when in Star Wars.
What you're saying?
In Star Wars case, George Lucas.
What people want is let me get that new iPhone. George Lucas is just like the last one.
Listen, George Lucas wanted to try something different with the prequels. He said, "Let me add some special effects. Let me add this character. Let me do this."
No, he just made a bad movie.
No, he did not. He was making his version of what he thought Star Wars should be, and it was.
He had already made his version of what Star Wars should be.
No, he didn't, because when he made Star Wars, he wanted to make Flash Gordon, first of all, and people thought he was crazy. Droids and people with buns, and they thought he was crazy. And now he comes back years later with all this money and success and wants to make his Star Wars that he really wants, and it sucked. Because he tried something different. He should have stuck to the formula.
It wasn't, but what I'm talking about when it comes to trying something different is I'm talking about when you talk about first act, second act, third act, you kind of know what's going to happen. All right, listen. I go to see Marvel. If I go to see Civil War, this is what's going to happen. The movie's going to start out, and I haven't seen it, and I don't give a fuck what the trailers say. The movie's going to start out with like them trying to find out where Bucky is and stuff like that and everything, and they'll be chasing him around and stuff, and it'll kind of be the introduction of some of like probably a couple new characters. You'll see what the new set of Avengers are doing and stuff like that, and Captain America kind of be breaking rules trying to find Bucky. They'll be mad about it. We'll get to the middle of it, and then we'll get to the part where the tension starts to build between him and Tony because he's breaking these rules and stuff like that. They'll have a couple verbal matches. Maybe one of them gets physical and stuff like that. We'll know where Bucky is by that time. And then in the third half, we're going to have all of that stuff. We'll have a moment of reflection first before that third half where like Captain America's like, what should I do? Should I respect my friend and just be with my friend, or do I pick Tony? What do I do? And then once he's faced with that question is when like Tony starts to do something that'll make him decide, oh, I'm all Bucky. And then in the third half, they're going to fight and shit like that, and they'll end the movie on some type of resolution.
Or a cliffhanger.
With
the post-credit
I know
scene.
what that movie's going to be.
But you know what? Do you want to see that movie? Yes or no?
No, because
you
I know
lying.
it's going to be.
You are lying, dog. Just because you want it, just because you know what it is, you don't want to see it. This is what I thought Batman.
I'll wait for it to come out on
Let me do
DVD.
mine. This is okay. You still gonna pay money for it. This is what I thought Batman v Superman was gonna be. All right. Like I said, they made an hour and 30 minutes to the movie. I thought it was gonna be all right. Introduction to Batman. Batman and Superman first meet. Superman wins, obviously, because it's Superman. Batman goes back to Batcave, gets the big bat armor, fights Superman. Superman's like, oh, shit, you kind of strong. And then they go back. Then Wonder Woman kind of comes in, and they kind of see Wonder Woman in the suit, like, who the fuck is that? And then she flies off. Then big fight, somehow incorporate Lex Luthor in there. He could have stayed out the movie. And then have Batman and Superman fight for real. Like they did at the end of the movie. They fight for real. Not for 10 minutes, but more than that. Maybe 15. I don't know, maybe, or just have the fight scenes broken up. Add a chase scene in there, kind of like the Dark Knight. This chase scene from this movie kind of sucked, in my opinion, compared to Dark Knight. And then the final battle, and also the final battle have Superman and Wonder Woman fight. Hell yeah, why didn't they fight? They're two superhumans who can fly and whatever. Have Wonder Woman throw like a tank at Superman, have Superman block it with one finger and shit, and all that. That would have been awesome. And then
sounds like a great Marvel movie, bro.
And then and then have the big fight with all three of them versus Doomsday. Whoa. And that's the end. And then at the funeral have something like, do you know about this Justice League or this guy that's fast? And it's like dun, 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 dun. Then it closes. Not what I saw. It was so bad. It's so opposite of what I saw, bro. I mean, and let me real quick. I'm gonna stop after this. Okay, I have a friend. Okay, she was like, I was at the movie watching BVS, and she was like, "Oh, you watching Batman v Superman? Is Harley Quinn in it?" I was like, "No. What are you talking about? No, because you know the average moviegoer does not know about that stuff. The average moviegoer, the people who you say like it." Oh, it's like, oh, I like that movie. I'm rating it a 5. That's the average moviegoer, but hardcore comic book fans do not like this, or they split because it's not a good movie. Regular ass average Joe people are like, it was okay, it wasn't that bad, because they don't care about Batman and Superman. Of course, they thought it was good.
It is a good movie. It is not a movie that was created to do exactly what the consensus moviegoer wanted to see. You know what I mean? Like when I went to see Star Wars, I liked the movie. It did what it was supposed to do. But I knew I was watching something that was meant to not offend me, to not go too far, you know what I mean? To not to try too much. And it's like, okay, I like it, but all it's doing is tugging at some of those very basic human emotions so that I don't get too offended, I don't get too upset. I can barely even have too much of an opinion about it, but hey, I like what I'm seeing. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, come on, man, that is boring. This is a good movie. The problem is, the thing is, if this movie, let's say these comic books do not exist, we don't know who Batman is, we don't know who Superman is. Mm-hmm. This is just an original piece. Mm-hmm. We would have went to see this movie and been like, wow, you would have been thinking about like, damn, it must be hard to be from another planet and have all these powers and have people not know if they even want you on that planet, despite the fact that you try so hard to save them. You know what I'm saying? We might have been like, wow, look at this guy who's running around, who's powerful and rich. He reminds me of the type of rich and powerful people that we have in our world today, because the businessmen that are rich and powerful that we know are from the tech industry. You know what I'm saying? That's the world that we live in today. So that's why I think, you know, the whole, like, when people say that, you know, we got Mark Zuckerberg as, you know, Lex Luthor, it actually fits today. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the type of businessman we know. Those are the type of businessman we see. When we grew up, what did we have? You had MySpace. Oh, hey, Tim. Tim, a scrawny old white dude who was a millionaire. Tom. You know what I'm saying? Or Tom or whatever. And now you got Mark Zuckerberg, a scrawny old white dude. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like the way that people like that would bend a Superman to their power or under them is the way that we see this Lex Luthor do it. You know what I'm saying?
I understand
so
it, but
bruh, come on. And then it's like the build up to it, I feel like was perfectly done. You know what I'm saying? The problem is, I will admit, it gets slow in the middle. And I feel like most of that is when we get all that Lois Lane shit, when she running around trying to figure out what's going on with the kryptonite bullet. It's like, cut all those bullshit ass scenes, man. Like, I didn't need that shit. It don't even got anything to do with the plot.
For one, it was way too many people in that movie. Lois Lane, you see her for a couple scenes. You see Alfred for literally like 2 scenes. You see Ma Kent for about 2 scenes. You don't see anybody that long. You see Gal Gadot like 3 scenes. You don't see, it's too much they trying to cram in one movie, and that was the problem. It was 2 hours and 30 minutes almost, and I still didn't see it all I wanted to see. I wanted to see more stuff, you know what I mean? Yeah. And the stuff that they showed a lot of was people staring at stuff, Batman walking in slow motion.
It's set up, man. It's like, it
bro,
was
I'm telling you, man.
Patient. It was patient.
What you were saying before about if these comics didn't exist, but they do, these filmmakers have a responsibility, whether they like it or not. If you want to make an original movie about a guy who flies around and saves the world and an eccentric billionaire who dresses up like a bat or something, do it. Don't take on these properties that have beloved fans and images and everything to them. You have a responsibility.
But that brings me to my other point. The only thing I'll give people when it comes to that, listen, I don't see any problem with taking liberties of a character as long as the character's core values stay the same.
But did it do that in this movie?
So listen, I'll get to that. I'm gonna start with Batman. That was a perfect Batman. So you can't say that Zack Snyder did not, actually respect the source material. Wonder Woman.
He did a lot.
That was great, man. Gal Gadot is beautiful, and then she was also great. You know what I mean? And then let's go to Lex Luthor. People, for the most part, didn't like it. But when we talk about core value, physically, is he Lex Luthor? No, he didn't have a bald head. He isn't big. He isn't menacing. You know what I'm saying? But he was still calculating, because at the end of the day, you find out that everything that made all the materials and things that Batman was seeing with his eyes, as far as the newspapers that are written over in red letters, that was all Lex Luthor.
I still don't understand that. What was the point of that?
Because they're trying to make it seem like Lex Luthor was trying to get Batman to fight Superman the whole time. Now,
but why was he even doing that? What was his real motivation?
That's arguable as a plot point, because seriously, it didn't need to be that way. I'll give you that, but that's not what I'm arguing. What I'm arguing is, as a character, was he calculating like a Lex Luthor should be? Sure.
Kinda.
Did he have the balls to stand up to Superman like Lex Luthor does? He does at the end of the movie.
He did not. He was just crazy, man. They made Lex crazy. He's not supposed to be crazy. He's supposed to be calm and cool and a-hole. He's not supposed to be...
He wasn't calm and cool and looking like the good guy, so people don't know that he's actually bad.
That's Lex Luthor.
But I'm talking about core values.
I disagree. No, I don't think he did. He was calculating. I'll give you that. But he wasn't anything else. He wasn't anything else.
He was menacing to Superman. And the thing I think
for about 5 minutes when he finally
crazy is that he was menacing kind of to everybody, because he was menacing to Lois Lane. You know what I mean? He was menacing to the senator, and he blows up Senate. But at the end of the day, he was a Lex Luthor who had his finger on the pulse of what was going on in his city. You know what I'm saying? He was making shit happen. He was... Despite the fact that you got Batman on one side of him and Superman on the other side, he was still the guy who was holding all the cards. To me, that's Lex Luthor. I think once you go down to Superman is when I feel like the shit falls apart. And I think that's the whole... And honestly, that's what I'll give everybody. Every critic of this film...
But man, you're saying it's a masterpiece. You're admitting all these problems. Lex Luthor, not really. Superman, definitely not. It is slow. I like the middle part.
We're saying I said it's a masterpiece for people to watch this, but you and I both know I don't think it's a masterpiece. I think it's a good movie. You know what I mean? But I feel like the only one problem is, you know what my theory on the problem of the whole Superman problem is? You know what my theory is?
Yeah, he had bad parents.
It's the parenting.
Yeah. He had horrible parents who would give him horrible advice. Don't save me, even though you can real quick.
Right. That is where Zack Snyder made a mistake. You know what I mean? Because that's where Superman falls apart, and that's why this is not the Superman we know and love. Because the Kents are constantly encouraging him to be like on the fence, like, hey, be a hero or don't be a hero.
Or don't be a hero.
Right. That's literally what his mother tells him.
Who does that?
Be their hero, Clark, or don't. You know what I mean? And then when he sees his father, he's like, hey, I tried to be a hero once. I did some good things. Everybody thought I was great, and then I drowned a bunch of horses. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? In the first movie, his father's like,
how we're both
don't save anybody.
I like how we're both complaining about the movie. You claim to like...
Because that's the problem. That really is the problem. The Kents are supposed to be like...
So that's the one
Clark.
Thing. That's the one thing.
Because that is the problem. If the Kents are people who are like, Clark, I know you're from another place and everything, and I know you have these powers, but we're here for you. You know what I mean? Like, embrace being a hero. Like, most Superman lore, they tell him one thing, I feel like mostly. You came from the sky to us for a reason. And with all the powers you have, you must be here to be a hero. So be one. These Kents are like, I don't know why the fuck you came to us and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't really like people too much. So, hey, Clark, you shouldn't either. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't try to be a hero. Hide the fact that you have powers. Hide the fact that you could be a hero. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're the reason why he's a dick.
Let me die even though you can save me, and let that hang over your head for the rest of your life.
Exactly. Like, Come on.
Zack Snyder messed up Superman.
And you're a Superman fan.
He needs to be fired. Zack Snyder, man, listen to me. You had 2 chances, bro. You had 2 chances. You fucked it up the first time with Man of Steel, and now you fucked it up again with Batman v Superman. What's wrong with you,
This
bro?
is what
You need
needs
to be
to happen.
replaced. Something need to happen to you. Something gonna happen.
And Zack Snyder, I'm not involved in that. So don't use your millions of dollars to come, you know what I mean, murder me.
Shit. Nah, fuck all that.
Send a drone to his house. I
Send a
give you
drone
his
to my
address
house
if you want it.
I got anti-drones. Listen, this one needs to happen. And about Wonder Woman. You know why Wonder Woman was great? Because they didn't build her up. They need to. We already know about Wonder Woman, yo. We are, even though we don't.
I don't know shit.
But you know
about
what?
Wonder
They didn't
Woman,
have to say. They didn't have to say. But did you like her in that movie?
Yeah.
Because he was off the chain.
I think part
you
of the
didn't
fact
need
is
to
just
know all that.
Gal Gadot, apparently, she is fucking beautiful and gorgeous
Yes,
in
she
all
is.
words
Yes,
that
she is.
explain, you know, just being pretty as fuck, man.
She's
like,
a
for
great
real.
actress too.
She
She's great.
is
I love her.
goddamn gorgeous and fucking
I
stunning.
know how you feel about her. Yeah.
She is fucking stunningly beautiful.
So what we can gather is Gal Gadot was beautiful, and also we didn't need all that shit. We didn't need to know, oh, Themyscira, she's Wonder Woman's from Themyscira. We didn't need to know she's born
But she
without
has her
men.
own movie for that.
Well, there's that too, but also we didn't need it in this movie. But we didn't need to think. My point is, we didn't need it with Batman either. We didn't need to see his parents get shot. He could have been like,
yeah.
my parents were killed.
Well, the
long
thing
ago,
is,
and we would have known.
They
like
were
you
trying
said.
to set up the fact that both of their mother's names is Martha to be able to sell.
And that was so
them
dumb.
ending the fight.
That was so dumb. You know, I admit I didn't know that fact about their mothers.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
That's
Like,
crazy. That's crazy. But we didn't need that shit. We didn't need. Hey, your mother's name's Martha. Mine is too. We should be friends.
Why did you say that name?
Like after all this time. That's
thing
that's what links them up. They both got. I don't care if you got the same mother's name. If I don't like you, I don't like you. If
I've
I'm ready
never
to
been
kill
a
you,
fan
stab
of
you in the
any of that.
heart. If I'm ready to stab you in the heart, and you like, my mother got the same name as your mom. I would have been stabbed you already. You wouldn't even been
Right,
able to
you
get the
wouldn't
word
have got that out. But but at the end of the day, I do see what people are saying.
Yeah.
For me, I actually, because of the fact I never knew that, it made me be like, oh damn, like why both their mothers' name are. So it's like the fact that I paused. It's like it made it less of like a problem for me that Batman paused. However, I've always hated that in every movie when like the good guy and a Martha's trying to distract us. When the
Distracted me.
you know, when like the good guy's like tied up and he's supposed to die, and the Batman comes and he's about to like stab him, but then like somebody who's with the good guy makes the noise, so the Batman is about to stab him. He's like, huh,
Right.
hold on, we gotta handle this problem. It's
Right.
like.
It's
in
that
the
kind
real
of shit
world,
that's
it's like
in movies.
I've
Yeah, I
already
understand.
stabbed you to death,
Right.
and then we go handle this other issue. So that's just a movie thing where it's always like I'm about to do it.
I understand that, but
Oh no, I'm not. You know what I mean? But
I understand that. It's just.
so they
I
just
thought it was
going to
be something else. I didn't think it was going to be their mother's name. I thought it was going to be like, hey, there's Doomsday. Maybe we shouldn't do this. Hey, you're not that bad of a guy. But the way Superman was acting, I wouldn't like him either.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean?
That's the thing. That's why I say this was a good movie. The only thing I'll give people that constantly criticize the movie, the only thing I'll give you is that Superman was not done correctly. A better Superman makes Man of Steel better, and it makes this film better. Because the whole thing about Man of Steel is you have a Superman who does not know the own limits of his powers yet. You know what I mean? And then he has to fight somebody who's on his level in Zod. That was going to end with one of them dying, period. You know what I mean?
I disagree.
So I've never had a problem with that.
Based on what I know about that's because you don't like Superman, right?
Well, that's because
And you don't really follow
I've
him.
never.
The people who like, that's what I'm saying. Like, regular moviegoers don't care about stuff like that. But the hardcore fans care about stuff like that. He not supposed to kill. I heard someone was.
I like them taking that liberty. I don't
didn't
have
mind
a
it
problem with
either.
them taking
I
that
didn't mind it
liberty
either.
if by this movie he's not that Superman anymore.
But I'm
And I
not that
think
big
that
of a
was
Superman
a problem.
fan.
Is that once you arrive on Batman versus Superman, he was still the same guy, which didn't make sense because for the most part, people loved him. It seemed like the people who didn't like him were the majority. I mean, were the minority. So it's like, why is he still so sad? And like I said, like his parents obviously apart because he has visions of his father still being like a fucking dick, and his mother is a dick. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, Lois Lane is kind of a dick. You know what I mean? So it's like,
yeah, like the guy
influences.
had her by the neck, and she like winked at him like, yeah, you know what to do,
Right?
take this motherfucker
go ahead and
out.
murder this motherfucker.
Just murder
real
him,
quick. Right?
Yeah, like.
Seriously, man,
so
it's
fucked
like
up.
seriously. You got this baby from another planet who doesn't understand the world he's in, and his only way of understanding it is through the loved ones around him,
Right.
and none of them are good influences.
That's why I think it would be great to do that Injustice storyline with this movie. It would make sense.
You
Lois
have
Lane
to,
dies.
because
Yeah,
this
the way it's set
Superman
up
is a
now, you
fucking
got
asshole.
to. The way Zack Snyder fucked everything up,
No,
you
man.
got to.
Listen, this the
You
thing.
got to.
Superman needs to be done correctly at some point, though, for this whole thing to rise from the ashes, because they've already invested tens of $millions in reshooting Suicide Squad, because
Really, was that April Fool's prank? I thought it was April Fool's prank.
no, that's real shit.
Damn.
But this is stuff that already happened. This is a story that just came out, but it's something that already happened. When they saw the reaction to the trailers that they did, it leaked that all the lighthearted jokes in the whole movie were in that trailer, similar to Batman vs. Superman. But Warner Brothers was on record as saying that they did not want their films to be joking and lighthearted. They were on record with the fact that they wanted their universe to be starkly different from Marvel. It's something that they have to do in order to brand themselves and
they
set
can
themselves
do it.
apart.
I have no problem with.
They have to have a different tone, but they
I
don't
no
have to
problem
go
with
as
that.
dark
It's
as they're
just
going.
the movie was bad, bro.
It's not a bad movie though.
All right, it was okay. It was satisfactory, but it was not good. It was not a B or an A. It was a C.
I
to
actually
me.
think, man, honestly, to be honest,
A
I
C
said
or a
this
D.
when I left the movie. I said this when I talked to you about the movie and when I talked to everybody about the movie. My favorite parts of the movie are the non-action parts, because what Zack Snyder, the story that Zack Snyder is telling, if you allow yourself just to let him tell you a story instead of coming in just like constantly waiting for the next time that you get to see a fight, or waiting for the next time that you get to see Batman or Superman do something cool, which is and that's why I say, like, Zack Snyder's style does not fit the genre of movie that he is making. You know what I mean? And that's the problem, because people come to the theater wanting to see Batman do cool shit and Superman do cool shit. Unfortunately, Zack Snyder is not playing into the fact that that's what people want. But if you allow yourself to let Zack Snyder tell you a story, I felt like he told a great story, and that's why I defend this movie.
Well, he did that with Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch was an okay story. Mm-hmm. You know, he knocked out of the park with 300. Man of Steel was weak, and this movie is getting panned by critics. Zack Snyder, man, you gotta go.
I would not argue with Zack Snyder being removed, because
I know you said you the one that put that in my head.
The fact of the matter is, honestly, I actually like what he's doing, but I don't actually like the action scenes, where there's some people who are like, I hated everything but the action scenes. I'm on the other end of that. I love what he's doing visually. I love the story that he's trying to tell.
Visually is great.
But at the end of the day, I'm such a Batman fan that I want people to love these movies. I don't like coming out of a movie theater and I'm the only one who like it. That's why I sigh so much when we got to talk about this. That's why every time we talk about this subject, I just go, because I want people to love these movies. But part of it is like, if it stays the way it is, then the fight that I have to fight is getting people to calm down and be patient and actually come to these DC movies looking more for, like, you know, The Godfather, then you're looking for something else. Because they're actually, in my opinion, they're trying to make good films that happen to feature superhero characters. And I think Nolan kind of started them on, I don't even want to say Nolan. I feel like Tim Burton started them on this type of tone for their film. Where Marvel is a company.
It started with Frank Miller, you know.
I agree. But, like, I feel like Disney is the type of company that has always made money off of lighthearted, fun films, you know what I mean, that you can take the whole family to. And that's what they've injected into Marvel. So I think that's why the Marvel machine is doing what it's doing.
I understand, but you know
and
what?
that's why the Star Wars machine is going to start doing
what you
what
say
it's doing.
about dark and gritty. Look at the DC TV universe. Mm-hmm. Look at the CW universe. That is as corny and as light and fluffy as you can get.
But TV is completely different.
But listen, it wasn't at first during the Nolan era when you had Arrow. Arrow was like a fake ass Batman. Mm-hmm. You failed this city. Everything was dark and gritty. He didn't even have, you know. he was all grounded, no superhumans or nothing.
And he
then
wasn't
they
the
added
Green
it.
Arrow. He was just Arrow.
Yeah.
Or he wasn't even that. He was the
He was the hood. Like it's so far away from what it really supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
He's a corny. DC characters are corny motherfuckers. The Green Arrow wears a little ass hat. Okay, Supergirl is corny. The Flash is corny. They're corny people.
Honestly, man, I argue that outside of Spider-Man and the X-Men, not just because they're my favorites for a reason, because I really think they're two of Marvel's best stories and stuff like that.
Yeah, me too.
I honestly feel like outside of them, Marvel doesn't have a whole lot. That's just my personal opinion, and that's another reason why I want people to like these DC movies, because the thing is, DC has to get that right. Well, WB has to get the ship right as far as that, because the fact of the matter is, I really do feel like they have the better characters, and many of Marvel's most beloved characters are ripoff of DC characters that came first in the first place. Right. So DC has to establish themselves for what they really are. I really feel like they're a true powerhouse that has to find their way.
They have so much potential.
And Marvel has Disney behind them, which makes everybody love them, because Disney knows, like I said, how to make a fun, light, bring the whole family movie that you're going to come out not being able to say enough bad stuff about, that when it comes to the Rotten Tomatoes scores, they're going to be in the 70s, 80s, 90s with both critics and moviegoers. But to me, honestly, that is not a good movie. To me, a good movie isn't always looked at as a good movie by all sides. Some of the best movies, start out slow, you know what I mean, and have to kind of build a liking, you know what I mean. When you look at the type of movies that win Oscars, oftentimes, you know what I mean, they're movies that most people don't go see and don't like, but critics love, you know what I'm saying. So honestly, I think there's a lot that can make a movie good and bad, but I honestly do not feel like Disney actually creates classics anymore. I feel like their classic era has become basically a blueprint for making movies, where it's like I'm watching the same movie just with different characters.
But I'm saying it's a blueprint because it works. It's tried and true.
Yeah,
it came at a time where you weren't getting that many good movies, and now you're getting a whole lot, and you want to see some. So you want to wrap up, and say closing statements.
And what would be your closing, man? What would be your?
I can't believe you compared. I can't believe you compared The Godfather to Batman v Superman.
Not exactly, but it's like visually, it's like Zack Snyder is trying to make a good movie with superhero.
My thing is this: what do y'all think? Do y'all think they should just scrap all this DC cinematic universe stuff and stick to the TV universe? Do you think they should give Greg Berlanti all that money they gave Zack Snyder? What do you think? Or do you think they should keep making these movies because they're different?
My closing would be, are you a sheep? Do you want to just be, do you want to just go to the movies in a flock with your shepherd in front of you telling you what to like? Because when you do that stuff, what you get is this. You get movies that are either critically and, as far as moviegoers go, loved. And then on the other end, you get the Transformers. You get what they tried to do with the Terminator.
Yeah.
You get Fantastic Four. Is that what you really want? Do you want a bunch of studios trying to copy off of a formula that they can't really recreate? Or do you want somebody or a group that's doing something different? If you want something different, then support DC. If you want DC's universe and Marvel's universe and Star Wars and the new Jurassic Park universe and the MGM universe, if you want all that shit to be jumbled in and they all look the same, then keep panning this movie and give us a united Hollywood where all we get is remakes and movie universes where we can all be happy sheep. That's my closing argument. Flat out.
All right, man. Let us know what you decide. Who won? Was it Dawn or was it Space?
I know I'm gonna lose. Fuck y'all though.
Oh, just follow us on whatever.
Oh, right.
3, 2.
Be sure to follow us on Twitter at DDP_online or at Chemical X Lab or at DONSGFX or at The Space Menace. We got a lot of Twitters, man.
Did you say at DDP_online?
I did.
Okay, cool. I
Definitely
drank this
follow
whole
us on
thing,
that.
so I barely even know where I am right now.
Okay.
But I do know that I respect this guy. Please tell us who won, though. It should be me. Probably won't be me because y'all some haters.
You don't respect me, man. Anytime you compare Batman v Superman to The Godfather,
I wasn't comparing to that. I'm just saying.
He's in the same sentence, man.
Cinematically, they're trying to make good movies that just happen to have superheroes in it.
Oh, I understand
That's
where
all
you're
I'm
coming
saying.
from. All right, we done. Vote online. Follow
Love you
us.
guys.
Follow us on Twitter and Instagram and like us on Facebook, man. Subscribe to us. Get new stuff all the time. Type in below what you want us to fight about again. Superhero fatigue, R-rated superhero movies. Is Gal Gadot really that hot, or
if you don't think that Gal Gadot is one of the finest women on the planet right now,
she is. She is.
Something wrong.
She is. She is. I love
genitals.
Gal Gadot. Well, let's close on that statement. We out.
Good night.
So yeah, today we're just going to discuss comic book movie fatigue. Ever since I think it was 2015, there have been movies, at least 3 movies every year, and it's going to be
Daydreamers. Unite.